What is up, you guys? It is Maddie here, and today I'm bringing you one of my first buy, rent, or pass videos in a while. It's been since about Metro Last Light, so it's been actually exactly a month today since I've done one. And today I'm bringing you a buy, rent, or pass for Deadpool. This is a game made by High Mood Studios, and basically everyone's been requesting this game apparently, and so Marvel granted this game title, and so here we are today playing it, and I'm here to let you know if this is worth your $50. It's actually at a discounted price. So, I got a lot of pros, but I also have a lot of cons, unfortunately, for this game. So, the first thing is that this is one of the better Marvel games I've played. Probably one of the best ones is obviously way back in the day when we played old Spider-Man games. Definitely Spider-Man 2 or Ultimate Spider-Man. Those were definitely the best Marvel games I've ever played, but these are pretty. This is a pretty good contender, along with the Amazing Spider-Man. As you can tell, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. But anyways, this is one of the better Marvel games I've played. I really enjoyed my time with this. This is a very fun game, and I was smiling the whole way through for the most part, and I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the better Marvel games I've played. It's absolutely hilarious. That's one thing about this game. There's very few games that can nail humor, and when they do, and they do it right, like this game has never made me like I haven't just sat there and had to pause my game because I'm laughing so hard. Like some of the things that happen in this game are just absolutely hilarious, and it's an acquired humor, I should say, because it's very crude, vulgar, but it's hilarious and stupid. It's an acquired humor, but if you're a laid back gamer, then you'll definitely like the humor in this game. It's a very, very fun game, and it's hilarious. It's just a very appealing game to a player like me who just sometimes wants a game where I can just kick back, laugh, and have a good time. Next is that the gameplay and story are actually surprisingly enjoyable. The story loses itself a little bit towards the end, but it's not a story based game. That's the thing. That's what a lot of reviewers I've seen have been doing. They're like, oh, well, the story isn't as strong as it. What the fuck are you doing? This game, clearly you could see from the trailer, this game is not a heavy story based game. It's about Deadpool basically being in his own game, creating his own game. It's pretty cool actually, and like that's what leads to all the creative and interesting things and weird, crazy shit happening in this game. That if you do decide to pick this up, you will see. Um, you know, it's actually insane how much they nailed the character. That's another thing I thought I really liked with this game. I'm not a huge comic reader. I was introduced to Deadpool when Marvel Ultimate Alliance came out, the first one. So that's about the extent of my knowledge when I first heard of him. And I really liked, the whole Merc with the mouth thing and how obnoxious he was and stuff. And they really, in this game, he's not overly obnoxious where you're like, shut the fuck up, Deadpool. He's a very funny character. He talks enough where, there's constantly something happening, but he doesn't talk too much where I'm sitting there wanting to blow my brains out or turn off the audio. It's very well done. It's people won't give it enough credit, but it's something that's hard to nail in a game where a character like Deadpool who never shuts the fuck up, it's so fitting and they do it so well. You know, the next thing is that like I said, the gameplay was actually very well done. It's your simple, X is a light attack, Y is a strong attack, B is to dodge, and you can do executions with B when you see a little skull above their head. If you aim in, you have your guns. You can chain some attacks together with your guns. It's very well done. It could have been a little bit fleshed out. I'll get to my cons later in this video. Could have been a little bit more fleshed out, but that's all right. But it's overall enjoyable, very simple to get the hang of. You don't need to be a DMC Devil May Cry expert. Next is that there are tons of upgrades. This game is loaded with upgrades that you cannot fill in one playthrough. It kind of inspires you a little bit to do a second playthrough, but not fully. But there definitely is a huge skill tree kind of thing for all your weapons and stuff to kind of choose what you're going to use throughout your playthrough. It's very nice. It's well done. The next thing is that for me, people like me who don't sit around and read comics or haven't done it before, when a new character appears in a story, for example, like Rogue, when she appears in the story, I had no idea who the fuck it was, and it said click A to learn about Rogue. And then I learned about who the hell Rogue was, and how Deadpool and her met, and what their connection was about in the comics and stuff. It's very well done. It informs people, so it kind of brings in new Marvel fans, so to say, people who want to learn a little bit about Deadpool because he's such a, there hasn't been any real games about Deadpool, so it's very interesting to see. I really like that. And the last pro for this is the discounted price. I mean, it's not a big discount. It's $50, but for some people, $10 or technically 15 with tax for me would make all the difference. So now on to the cons. The first thing, my biggest beef with this game, like the biggest what the fuck. Where the fuck are the collectibles? What game doesn't have collectibles nowadays? Like, really? Really? Like, I don't know. It's not hard to put collectibles in a game. It's really not. Like, I have a general knowledge of game programming and development and stuff. Putting collectibles in a fucking game is not hard at all. Why they didn't do this is just sheer laziness. That there's no excuse for it, and I really was disappointed to find that it kind of took you out of the gameplay sometimes when you're just walking around. You're just like, wow, I wish I could be hunting for collectibles or doing something. Like, you know how sometimes when you're with games with collectibles, every fucking game you play, basically, you'll go down a hallway, and to your right will be the direction towards your quest, and to the left will be your collectibles, the opposite way, the simple way of a collectible hunter. There's no point in doing that in this game. Occasional extra Deadpool points, which are your upgrade points, but I'm very disappointed that there's no collectibles in this game. Next is that when you die, or if you load your checkpoint because you want to get an achievement, if you had a cutscene before that, it does not skip the cutscene. You have to rewatch it, and usually these are 15-second cutscenes, but it kind of it's like, come on, just load, get me into the action. That's what I want personally, but sometimes it doesn't do that, and it really bothers me. And I can see that pissing some people off. Next, and you'll see many times in this gameplay, is the wonky camera. That's something that they really didn't work on, I could tell, because they made it like angled body height, or it's a little bit above his head. If they just made it a little bit more overhead, the camera would have been perfectly fine. It would have been able to get over a lot of the game objects and stuff, but unfortunately they didn't seem to notice it somehow, and as you can see, the camera will get like right here coming up. It'll get in the way terribly. Very frustrating. Next is that, like I said earlier in this video, combat could have been way more fleshed out. Like the way, like you should be able to chain different melee weapons together, not just my melee and my guns. I should be able to it could have been way more fleshed out. You really do have to play the game to be like, oh, this should have been implemented. It's kind of disappointing to agree. Right here is where the camera fucks me. I'm like, Jesus. Anyways, though, it could have been a lot more fleshed out. It is good, like I said. The gameplay is fun. It's crazy. It's wild. It's over the top. But it could have been a little more fleshed out if they wanted to make this a full $60 AAA title. Next is that fights can get overwhelming and frustrating. Like, at the end of the game, like, they think you're some overpowered badass, which you kind of are, but, like, they send these waves and waves and waves of enemies, and it's like, Jesus Christ, stop, just let me enjoy the game. Like, it gets fucking annoying sometimes, and it really pisses me off, but I never shut this game off once. I actually beat this all in one sitting of 8 hours. So it's a fairly decently length average game, just so you know. Next is the boss fights are relatively similar, which kind of upset me as well. I really wish that the boss fights were different, because a lot of the level design is very well done in this game, and you'll see like that shines through. It's another con in this game, is that the level design is incredibly inconsistent. And I don't like that about this game, where one level I'll be like, wow, genius, because it pokes at another game, and then it'll instantly just go back into the sewers or something. Lots of quirks with this game, little things, but overall, if you ask me, I recommend this game to any Marvel fan as a purchase. If not, and you're looking for a fun action-adventure game to spend a weekend on or something, definitely rent this game. I would not say pass this game. It's a fun, one-of-a-kind game, and I definitely recommend you check this out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a thumbs up. If you played this game through, leave a comment whether it's this was a good review or not, or you agree or whatever, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you guys enjoyed once again. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace and ass. Yeah, I'm going to change it up this time. Goodbye.